From Bears Last Stand to Saban's empire, we built the league, broke the mold, and rewrote the code. Crimson Tide, unstoppable, undeniable, untouchable. 7-9 champs, goal line stand. Barry Cross made Penn State fold their hand. Chile ran, Ogilvie danced. Sugar Bowl glory, banner advance. Ray Perkins brought Bennett's wrath. 3-time All-American cleared the path. Bill Curry's cruise, Siren Stacy's fire. Deep steep crown, Crimson never tired. Gene Stallings, 92 rain. Teague stripped Miami, left them in pain. Jay Barker Lassick, Odin Tide. Langham locked down, Thorpe took flight. We're nothing but a winner. Best to ever do it. Crimson Tide rolls deep. No one can outdo it. Built for the lights, bred for the fight. We don't chase greatness, we define it right. Saban touchdown, turn fire to flame. 6 rings later, they chant his name. And Graham ran wild, first Heisman won. 2009, Texas came undone.
Roll Tide, Alabama Nation. Roll Tide to you. This Tide coming back at you from Tide Sports. Feliz Navidad. Happy birthday. I think we got some happy Hanukkahs going out there today. But most important of all, you know what we're celebrating today? We are celebrating the birthday of Jesus Christ and me. This is your what birthday? 7 days from rolling into these roses. Oh man. It's something else. I really look forward to seeing, this game. I hope that everything goes our way, but we got to be ready for whatever. But right now we got to address a serious matter, and I'm gonna just let my man Brooks Austin from Film Guy Network, just let him break it down, because it's a sad state of affairs. Tell him, Brooks.
Sophomore wide receiver who cost a boatload of money is getting beaten out, which is very obvious to anybody watching Alabama football. If he's getting beat out by a true freshman that is considerably cheaper, it might behoove the both of us to part ways and go elsewhere. When expensive sophomores get beat out and outplayed by inexpensive freshmen, he got to go. By the way, this ain't the only place and only position this is happening. It is not. It is not. If you have a freshman anywhere in Power 4 football at this rate, that has beat out a sophomore, the sophomore might have to go, because the sophomore is probably taking up a large percentage of the roster, salary allotment, right? It would be no different than in the NFL. Oh, hey, we got a linebacker coming up on a contract year. He's about to be a free agent. Just had about 85 tackles. By the way, the rookie that played next to him had 106. Okay, we can let the vet go. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff happens in pro ball. It's gonna start happening in college football.
Folks. Just in case you missed it, Brooks was addressing the Ryan Williams situation. And I just want to zero in officially. During October, AL.com did an article talking about the slump that Ryan Williams was in. When it was becoming evident that things weren't going to change to the positive side, they're going to stay on the negative side. And when you're the chosen one in T-Town, every missed connection feels like a glitch in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing the same people come down your way. The conversation shifted from how did he catch that to why didn't he catch that? He started letting the rock hit the turf a little too much. And it wasn't just, a bad bounce. It was a trend that had, the Tide Nation, we were sitting there like, you got to clean your bifocals off, or trifocals for some of us. and say, man, just what's going on? And all the analysts start talking about concentration and technical hitches and proving that trying to find ways to prove that our once phenomenal 17-year-old, he was actually, he was human when the lights are brightest. But let's be for real. When Julio Jones showed up, he messed it up for all fellow following receivers. I mean, human is like a 4-letter word when you're wearing that jersey. I'm sorry, it just is. And we expect your hands to be like glue and your route running to be sharp enough to cut through the iron that's up under Birmingham. You know what I mean? So Bama Hammer did a little stuff, talking about the noise that's moved from the sideline to the film room where the experts started dissecting what was going on with Williams' hands, like a high school biology project. Because this is the kind of stuff you open yourself up to. And they didn't hold back. They called it a lack of consistent, great hands, a major problem for the Tide offensive rhythm. And when you're the wide receiver 1A or 1B, and you're struggling to secure the ball after securing those bags, the whole playbook starts to shrink like a cheap t-shirt. Can't stretch the field. If the defense knows that, you may drop it and they're going to double team you, they send a decent DB after you because there's a good chance you may just drop the ball. If it's a pronounced, consistent issue. And this has been a consistent issue for a while. So maybe he hit you for a touchdown, but in all likelihood, he wasn't. So serious Tide fans, almost caught it. It's like saying, let's go ahead and punt. Because we need the first down. We need the touchdown. We need everything we got. We don't play for almost in the majority of the 205, 334, and 659. We play for hardware and highlights showing how we left our opponents brokenhearted on the sideline. During the Iron Bowl, he got ghosted. The biggest day on the calendar for Alabama players, no matter how we're doing the season, is a pretty big day. In-state rivalry. A very fiery rivalry, and Ryan Williams virtually got ghosted by everybody. Leaving, we thought maybe he was in witness protection or something. The coaching staff tried to play it off. Basically saying he was like a decoy. It just wasn't his time. But when your most explosive weapon isn't targeted in the game, that defines the season. And then everything starts to get louder than the doggone band. Some people say the defense took him away, but did you take Julio Jones away? Smith, Ruggs. Did you just completely take him away every game? Especially in the big games? Even Isaiah Bond. Oh, yeah, I'm going to mention his name. We 0-1. But you can't get taken away and not get a target in the battle for Dixie, man. The heart of Dixie, you're battling for the whole state. Now you move on to this question of what happens next, as Brooks Austin just talked about. You got that portal paradox. Now, many players will choose to leave and move on to other places. But can somebody choose to tell you to leave? Yikes. Yeah, we look toward the horizon and the transfer portal, it's coming along, but we don't know. It's just looming over the whole team like it's looming over Lake Tuscaloosa. His struggles, they just aren't about this season. They're about, what's coming up, who's coming in. Sadarian Morgan's coming in, who looks up to Julio Jones a lot. He got a body like T.O. and Julio Jones put together. If the kid isn't locked down, if he isn't like the sure-handed threat we thought, does the staff look elsewhere, or does he look to find a fresh start? So does somebody want to pay him more or less if he does leave? It's a high-stake game of musical chairs that every team is playing. the NIL deals, and the dreams of a national championship. You can go get a lot of money in different places, and just know going in, you're not going to get a national championship. Play for a national championship. Is it worth it? Should he do it? But the Crimson Tide has a standard. It just doesn't wait for people to find their rhythm. Some people don't get their shot. Alvin Kamara. Some people blossom elsewhere. There are plenty of examples of that. You're either like dance or you get off the floor. We have people that's giving 100% every time they go out on the field. And these are starters. And they're seriously involved backups. Even when the coaches know their best is a C+ or a B- in effectiveness for the team. But it fits. We expect that. You're going to get it every time they come out. They're going to give you that C+, right? But if you got a person that's an A+ guy and he's producing D's and F's every week of the season, it gets really expensive in this era. So everybody's confident in Coach DeBoer's process of getting everybody ready, but it just seems like one person that seems to be trailing along. But the portal window is about to be real dramatic. Then it's going to be more dramatic than, like I say, a fourth quarter comeback in the swamp in the 90s. I won't say in the 90s. I don't think we had a couple comebacks. Maybe in Birmingham, but anyway. But Ryan Williams is a talent that comes along once in a blue moon. But the team can't wait, on anybody. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but in this league, consistency is the only currency that matters. He still got the juice, I think, to be legendary. He's got 2 years, he got time, but the hands have to match the height. And if he wants to stay in the rafters, if he wants to go into the cement of the Denny Chines, if he wants to maybe even hold up a ring, he could be the difference. Crimson Tide, you can only hope to keep up with the standard that's already set before you, but that standard has to be exhibited every day in every single practice and especially in every single game. Now, I want to close with one man's opinion about what he thinks the problem is. And depending on how you hear this may not be all Ryan Williams' fault. We may be looking at Ryan Williams 100%. But comedian Steve Brown, who does have a background in football as a coach, even at the collegiate level, he says that this is not all Ryan Williams' problem. Let's take a listen.
I told y'all so. Y'all gonna listen to me. I'm a comedian, but football is my first love. I'm a student of the game. I've coached it. Some of y'all can laugh all you want to, from little league to college. Yes, I coached on a collegiate level when Stillman College had a football program. I was one of the assistant coaches under Coach Teddy Keaton, who is now coaching the head coach at Clark Atlanta University. So I had some great teachings. I saw a lot. And I pretty much know, from coaching all of these years while, doing the groundwork for comedy, because again, football is my first love. I watched, I observed, I learned, and I love football. So I can talk football with the best of y'all.
Me too.
And some of y'all, when I mention this young, raw, talented brother, Ryan Williams, you came at me with the hate.
Oh, I want to say he's going to use some graphic language here. So, like Silk the Shocker said, I think it was Silk the Shocker. It ain't my fault.
You just hating. He young. He this, he that. Get a man some grace. Get out. No. Hell no. Hell no. I don't care how talented you are. Now, let me say this. And I'm saying it about Ryan Williams with my chest out. With my chest out. Still one of the most talented, raw talented receivers in college football. And I'll say it again, like I said it before. The coaches and the players, to be specific, The upperclassmen, they failed him. They failed him. This is why now he has gone from the number one receiver last year to being the third or fourth option. Even the freshman, Lazier, whatever his name is, Brooks, 2 touchdowns. A freshman.
Fifth option. You got Lazier Brooks, Josh Cuevas, then Ryan Williams if he's not busy.
A freshman in a playoff game. Why? Because let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. Ryan Williams did really well off the arm of Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was not the most consistent quarterback. He wasn't. He was a decent quarterback with an unearthly skill set, just like Ryan Williams. Unearthly skill set. All right? Ryan Williams had some breakout games. We love Ryan Williams. He became an instant star in our eyes. We saw it. We were looking like, hey man, this brother keep this up. The Heisman is his. The Heisman is his. Besides the brother at Ohio State. Oh, he's finna do the damn thing. We're all excited. Then comes the NIL deals. Now, this is how the team and the upperclassmen failed him. Now think about it before you hate. Ryan Williams went from that to having TikTok dances in the locker room. Having a live stream. The fingernail situation. You know, that's your own personal business. It is what it is. Me, I'm not having that on my team. It's a distraction. He was doing, what else? The stuffed animals. He was doing everything that had nothing to do with football. Do y'all think, let's keep it 100. Do y'all think that Dante Hightower would have let him come in the locker room with fingernail polish, stuffed animals, doing TikTok dances and all that? Do you think Dante Hightower would have let him do that? Do you think all them other Reuben Foster and all, do y'all think they would have allowed him to do that? Hell no. Any of those championship Alabama football players would have not let that dude do that. But they would, hell no. Bro, you do that shit on your own time. Do that fingernail polish shit at home. TikTok dances, if I catch you in the locker room doing it again, I'm breaking your fucking back. Any of those champions from back in the day would not allow that shit. Even, what's his name? What's the quarterback name that went in on him and challenged him? Y'all went in on him. Oh, you hate white boy. This. Y'all even made it racial. But like I said earlier in the post, I said, great players know great players, and sometimes they challenge them publicly to bring whatever is in them out of them. A.J. McCarron was a dog at Alabama. He just played around great players. No, A.J. McCarron was a fucking dog. And dogs see dogs. He challenged them. But what did y'all non-football knowing motherfuckers do? That white boy hating on him. That's racism. He wouldn't do that. Everything y'all could. Again, deflecting and blame shifting. Y'all attack A.J. McCarron. Comes out, A.J. McCarron was right.
Woo! Oh. Add me back to the stage. Technical difficulties. Folks, I just got to, he has a point. He's on a show with Marvin Constant and several other longtime Alabama players, and even another guy, I can't think of his name. He played for, I want to say he played under Gene Stallings, but he played in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills for several years as safety, maybe in the Bills Hall of Fame, not Cornelius Bennett, but someone else. But I mean, he's around the game, and he's also entitled to his opinion. Because the stuff he talked about, I like to say, I remember them saying something about somebody in the family being sick, and that's why you don't want the extra distractions, because life's still coming. Life's still coming at you to beat you down. Life is coming for everybody who ain't protected by their mom and daddy to beat them into the earth. And that's what you get sometime in college. Mama gets sick, daddy gets sick, sisters, brothers come and go or have their own issues. Life comes at you. So the added distractions could be a bit much. I don't know. But one thing I think about, I could only imagine what Rolando McClain would do in that locker room. the man is intense. And some of his actions after football showed me just he's a little more intense than you probably need him to be. But, you know, I can just say, ooh, Jesus help him. But, you know, that's a wrap, folks. I'm going to drop something tomorrow. Enjoy your Christmas and your holidays or whatever you're celebrating. Love each other. Love on your family. Have a great time. But you know how we do it here. Until next time, if I can find this button. It's tough sometimes. I'm trying to hold it together. Always remember, folks, the button has disappeared. Where's my stuff? Okay, yeah, here it is. Man, I'm holding it together. I promise you, I hadn't been drinking none. I hadn't had nothing. I ain't been doing nothing. I'm just tired. I was on the grill all day. I mean, on the smoker today, running around trying to get ready for the dinner tomorrow. But I got it now. Always remember, roll, tide, roll.